24. Yeah, see? This one. This is what I'm actually talking about. It starts fading away. That didn't even happen. So how much more will he be able to keep us immortal? He can keep your clothing immortal. So he's going to make our bodies immortal too. Neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Yeah, you ain't even going to get a hurt feet. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, we standing at the camp for maybe 3 hours. We already hurt. Your feet hurt. Back in the days, we used to stand 10 hours. I don't even know how I did that. Yeah, we did have hurt feet, but we could pull through. You know, so yeah. Anyway, if you move around, then it won't hurt that much. But if you stand still and it's cold, your feet gonna freeze up. You know, or your foot actually, the bottom thing. You know, where the white people faces are. That's gonna it's gonna freeze. It's gonna kind of hurt unless you walk around or move around. Right. So let me see. 21, Deuteronomy 28:21. And Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Another thing that people might say, oh, it's a contradiction. No. This is talking about Malachi 3:6. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. This means utterly consumed. It goes in, basically goes into utterly, like 100%, because it says right here that we will be consumed off of the land, right? Right. Whether thou goest to possess it. So that's the land of Israel. We were consumed 100% out of the land. But some of our people are now there anyway, which they're not supposed to be, but they're there. In the polluted part of the land, that's where the Amalekites put us there. The Amalekite put us. Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning. These are all diseases. And with sword, even fights. Our people are dying left and right. Modern day sword is a gun. You have the heathen nations blowing the smithereens off of our faces and backs. And you have our people smoking each other. And with blasting, you know, basically diseases and just being messed up. And with mildew, which is diseases again, because fungus, it brings mildew. Fungus brings sickness. You know, if you breathe this in, mold, mildew is the same. It's kind of the same. This is a fungus, and mildew is like that black thing. But fungus, you know, it's kind of different. But it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. It's just mold. You know, molds. You know, the mildew is like this actually, and the mold is more. The mold is more. You know, it look like this, and then the mildew look like this. It's still fungus. Right. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Because did you know that if your house has mildew, it's actually leprosy of the house? You're supposed to burn that house down. And it brings diseases. So it says here, Leviticus 14:44. Then the priest shall come and look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the house, it is a fretting leprosy in the house. It is unclean. So you need to leave there. Let me see, Leviticus 14. Actually, but do we have the luxury of just leaving your house when there's fungus in your house? No, we don't. So we're cursed. We're messed up. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 44. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. And he shall break down the house, the stones of it, and the timber thereof, and all the mortar of the house, which is stone, cemented stone. And he shall carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that is what? That it is shut up shall be unclean until the evening. So if you are in a house where you have mildew or mold, you're unclean. If you go in that house, because that house is unclean. These are the curses that these are the laws that we're breaking. Because I know damn sure well that in your bathroom you probably had mold or mildew. You probably still have it. I don't know. I said probably because I don't know. But I think you probably had it. And if you didn't have it, the persons before you lived in their house probably had it. You know, especially if it's messed up, ventilated. Then, yeah, you're supposed to burn that house down, man. And if you go into that house, you're unclean. But you can read the chapter for yourself if you have the time. Let me see. The house is plastered, which is this thing. You plaster it with cement. Here. No. Right here. This is what I say. Here, a mixture of this to stiffen it. There's a new name for it, but yeah. Basically, you smear something on it. A mixture of lime, sand, water. Here. This thing. This. Yeah. And then you put it up on the wall. Plaster wall. This thing. Here, this thing. Right, you put it up on the wall. Right. This thing is plastering. Then the priest shall pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. So it is a plague. Mildew and mold and all that. There is a plague of the house, leprosy of the house. So that shows you that leprosy is something that comes on the surface of your skin. Who has leprosy, do you think? Esau has, by the way. Going on. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Yeah, man. You know. Yeah, going on. This also represents sickness. Because if you breathe that in, you're going to get sick. It's going to come in your lungs, particles in the air. You're going to breathe it in, and then you're going to get sick. You're going to get lung sickness and stuff like that. It could be. It's possible. If there's really a lot, and you're breathing it in the whole time. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. It's basically saying you're going to be between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, it's going to hurt above and it's going to hurt below. Faced with two equally undesirable alternatives. Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to get messed up. So where do you want to basically hit your head, right? A rock or a hard place? Where do you want to hit your head? What does this look like? That's funny. Yeah. You don't want to be in between that. And it's water is coming out. This is water? Oh, it's just white. Yeah. Anyway, between a rock and a, yeah. You don't want to be here. This is an Israelite. Trying to make this is an Israelite. You know? On dangerous things. Either way, you're messed up. Your life is messed up. Our lives, for the majority of our people. Even if you are in that so-called famous world with a lot of money and stuff like that, they still got problems. You know, a lot of rich people, depressed, kill themselves. Celebrities on being rich but depressed. And that goes for Jakes too. Rich, depressed, and suicide recover story. Oh, he didn't smoke himself. Why do a lot of people who suddenly become rich also get depressed and stuff, sad and depressed? Cooking with Lena has passed away, whatever. Why do rich people kill themselves? Yeah. Because one of the reasons is this. First Timothy chapter 6. You gotta go to the Diddy parties, man. You gotta say no. You know what I'm saying? First Timothy chapter 6, verse 9. But they that be rich will be rich, fall into temptation and a snare, which is a trap, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And what is perdition? It's basically destruction. Utter ruin here. Utter ruin. Complete and utter ruin. That's what riches can do. It can make you happy too, you know. But then again, poor people could be happy also, you know. Or not even poor. Yeah, poor too, but people that are, you know, not middle class, but a little under that. Verse 24, Deuteronomy 28:24. And Yahweh shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. That's painful. And plus, with water is supposed to come prosperity for the land. But if it comes too hard, then your crops is going to drown. And then you're going to starve of hunger, starvation. Yahweh, verse 25. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. This didn't happen to these people, but they own everything. In all the kingdoms of the earth they have been cast out. We have been slaves of the Arabs. We have been slaves of the Chinese, Japanese, all these people, all these lands we have been in as slaves. So much that there is a there's an island there near in Japan where I think it was these people, but they used to be darker because they got very white light right well, whitish light skin right about now. But there used to be a few I saw a few darker. Let me see. I knew people. They're being discriminated against. I don't know if they're Israelites, but I saw a few pictures of them and I looked at them and I was like, what? Okay. Didn't know that. Back in the days, these people could grow a beard. The so-called, he looks a little bit browner, but I'm not sure if they're Israelites. I looked a little bit into it, not too much, of course. I clicked a few things, click, and then it was done. Because I saw these hedonistic customs, but then again, I saw our people doing hedonistic stuff too. I mean, don't our people have holes in their ears right about now? You know, just like a Hamite, because I saw her. You have these Israelites, of course. Of course, it's Israelite. And they talk about the discrimination over there. But if you mix up with the Edomites, there's no discrimination. You get elevated. You get elevated there. But most of the time, it's actually a dark-skinned man, whether from West Africa or from America, that goes to Japan and then lives there and then makes babies there. And this guy, I saw this interview, he's actually from America, so he's not, you know, Japanese and stuff like that. This one I saw also, and he talks about the racism in Japan. He talks about it because his father is from America, mother is from Amman, you know, Japan. This guy I saw also, he talks about it also. The racism there. Right. I think I saw her too. I'm not sure. But yeah, and these girls are very feminine too. Very feminine. Japanese because he asked. Right. Okay, I don't know you. Okay, enough of this. Right, going back to over here. Yeah, they own everything. You know, they own all this. All this is theirs. So, you think you think the curses is coming up on them? I don't see no curses over here. I see a wealth. I see wealth, which is going to be ours anyway. So I'm not even. You might be thinking like, why are you looking at these rich people? Do you want it? Not necessarily. I want y'all about Shimmy How Shy, because if I, what would you want? $1 trillion, which you can't spend because it's going to take you more than 411 years to spend 1 trillion. If you spend 1 million every hour, you wouldn't run out of, it's more than 411 years. You wouldn't run out of 1 trillion for over 411 years if you was to spend $1 million an hour 24/7. So no sleep. Just 24/7 every day of the year. Every hour of the year, sorry. You wouldn't want to run out of 1 trillion in 411 years. So you can't spend 1 trillion. But anyway, what would you want? $1 trillion or the blessing of the Heavenly Father? A lot of people would take that money because they don't understand the significance of being blessed by the Lord. Esau didn't. That's why he sold his birthright. Then you're going to be crying in the end also, just like him in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. He was crying. And also in the book of Genesis, chapter 27. He was crying. Why? Because he finally realized what he did. And now he's killing us for it. He's murdering us for it because he's like, you stole my mama. Yeah, we did. What you going to do about it? I'm going to murder you. Oh, yeah? What you think is going to happen to you in the end? Nothing. Because I don't believe. Anyway, cool. Keep that same mindset. Once we set your behind on fire. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18. We're going to set you on fire. You don't know? You don't know. You always wanted that dark tan, right? No, not too dark, right? You're going to be blacker than black. You're going to be darker than black. By the way, this is their companies. This is what they have. Zion and oil and gas. We don't have that. We do not have that. You know? And look. These are all recent. The lowest one that I can see is 1996. 93 then. Okay, 91. Okay. Oh, 80. What? I saw something with 8. Here, 85. Oh, 97. Okay, cool. No. 85 is less. It's lower. Right. Anyway, you can watch this for yourself. I'll put the link in the description box so you can check this out for yourself. And then I'm gonna go back to over here. So they own everything. And when we go to war with them, our people flee. They don't even want to go to war with them. Psh, they be busting up dudes in the hood. Hey nigga, what's up? My street. What's up? Oh shit, 5-0. I ain't going to jail, nigga. A few minutes ago, he was talking that chatter talking about I ain't scared of no nigga, no shit. I stand 10 toes down, nigga. What's up? 5-0. Nigga, I ain't going to jail, nigga. I'm gonna die. They're going to jail. He's scared, huh? He running. That's the truth. But once that time comes, they're going to be running from us. I'm laughing because I hate I hate these tough guys that be quick to murder their own people, but running from the Edomites. I'm looking at you like, man, you nothing, man. Like, I don't like you. You know? At least bust their heads up too then. You know what I'm saying? Since you carnal and stuff like that, why don't you do them something? Y'all scared, man. They gonna come down on us real hard. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to bring that heat. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring that heat to the hood. You know what I'm saying? To my street. You know what I'm saying? To my street gang. No killing, no cops. You know what I'm saying? If you kill a cop, then all organization is going to be exposed because they're going, you know what I'm saying? They're going to check all this with a magnifying glass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway, so it says here, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air. This happened already. And it's happening kind of, again, left and right, because we're being murdered left and right. And our people ain't fighting back. Only thing they're going to do is, we going to march today. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Yeah. And unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Like, shoo, shoo. They ain't fraying them away. They be looking at them like, fuck these niggas. That's what they're saying. Let them get killed. Ain't no nation on this planet Earth getting these leeches off of us. Because they see that if these Chinese people saw that they was being leeched on, they would band together like, no, we need to own our own businesses. That's why you have Chinatown in the Netherlands, Germany. Every country that they are, you have a Chinatown and you have a Japantown and stuff. You have that. You don't have Africa Town and stuff like that. Last time they had Africa Town, they bulldozed it to the ground. Africa Town. Africa Town was bulldozed. See, Mobile, Alabama. Africa Town was officially listed at the historical place. What happened to Africa Town? No. Mobile, Alabama. USA, yeah. Africa Town, Alabama, yeah. It's called Happy Hills now. They don't want to give you that information. No. Happy Hills. Africa Town's Happy Hills neighborhood. What happened to it? I know what happened to it. They bulldozed it. They bulldozed it. The devils don't want to actually say it real good. You really need to dig into their history and stuff like that. Anyway, right. If you saw my previous videos, then you would see what happened to Africa Town. They called it now Happy Hills. They changed the name, but they bulldozed a lot of these places of ours. Anyway, so it says here that, but yeah, ain't nobody stopping them. You know, this is talking about our actual bodies was being eaten by fowls of the air and beasts of the earth. But nobody was flinging them off of us because they didn't care. You know, if you have a loved one and they're dead, for example, and then some animal comes, by coincidence, some animal comes and starts picking at their dead body, you're going to shoot them away. Like, get out of here! That's my... It's not, you're going to be emotional and stuff like that, right? These people don't love us, you know, so they didn't do that with the dead bodies. And they also don't do that in a symbolic way concerning when these people feed off of us. Everybody and their mama know that they're making money off of us, billions of dollars, even trillions altogether. And nobody's helping us. But it's not their job anyway. We're supposed to come back to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Anyway, 27. Yahweh will smite thee with the botch of Egypt. And with, right. Right, so Yeah, they don't care. So verse 27, Yahweh will smile. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, so our people start to get hemorrhoids, man. Hemorrhoids, yeah. Which is hemorrhoids, which is basically ass cancer. Yeah, it's this, like, of a knuckle in your rectum hole. You know, that's gonna hurt you. So the Most High started to make us sick. That's the point. And with the scab, and with the itch, eczema. So, for example, body with eczema. These type of things. Right. Those things the Lord started to give us. Scabs, wounds. Wherefore thou canst not be healed. Yeah, man, it doesn't go away. You know. Right. So that those illnesses don't go away, can't be healed, unless the Lord wanted, and that's in the book of Sirach 38. So you can read that if you have the time for yourself. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Chicken. You're gonna be afraid. Our people are afraid of the police. I just showed you. Every time they see the police, their breath start messing up. Blindness, whether it be physical or spiritual. Madness. A lot of our people are just crazy. 28, 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, because you're going to be spiritually blind. As the blind gropeth in darkness. That's why you celebrate flying reindeers and bunnies that lay eggs. You're groping at noonday. Here it is, daylight as hell, right? And still you don't see that you're being lied to. Or you're being used for your talents. That's why one of the most nicer people upon the planet Earth, and the friendliest people upon the planet Earth, Michael Jackson, he called Sony the devil. Tony Matula is the devil. Sony is the devil. If you can get him to call you the devil, you must be really evil. That guy's friendly as hell. Well, in the eyes of the camera, he's friendly, but he said that on camera because behind the scene he was talking some chitter chatter from time to time, according to the people that was around him. But he didn't do it on camera. But on camera, he called Sony and Tony Matula the devil. So, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. See, nobody's helping us. We're oppressed and spoiled. Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, trapped in holes, can't get out. And they are hid in prison houses. That's exactly what's happening to us. We are literally in the prison houses, hid there, put there for not paying, just stupid stuff, not even the murderers in which belong there. Actually, they're supposed to be put to death, but the ones that didn't pay the child support or something like that, or failed to pay a payment that these devils want you to pay, and they climb in the interest. So let's say you only had to pay $100, and then all of a sudden now it's $300, and you can't pay that because you couldn't even pay the $100. But you want to pay it. It's not like you didn't want to pay it, but you couldn't. But then they put you in jail, and then they hide you there 2-3 years for that. Just giving you an example. They are for our prey. Everybody's preying upon us, and none deliver it. Nobody's helping us. For a spoil, and none say it, restore. Nobody's telling people like, why don't you give back the rights of the music to these individual jakes? A lot of them are dying broke. Red Fox, a lot of them of their own stupid mistakes, yes. But nobody's trying to help them and say like, hey man, you can't do that, man. He made millions for us, Look at Whitney Houston, how they mocked her by the time that she was dying. She was basically at the end of her life, not dying, but at the end of her life. How they was mocking her in movies and cartoons. I think South Park mocked her too, as a junkie. Ain't no and a lot of the people don't give them back the rights of the songs. So they gotta fight for it, or they gotta be a slave forever. Look at Prince. You know, he changed his name into a symbol which they couldn't pronounce, and therefore they couldn't they couldn't do certain things with him according to their own laws, because he didn't call himself what they called him on that contract. He's a new person, a new entity. This is my name. Can you pronounce it? No. Well, that's one of the ways that he was free, because he said on his head, he wrote slave on his head. Or his face. Wow, shit. Talk about bad advertising. I thought it was his forehead. You see? This is why it's very bad when you repeat something that you saw one time. Oh shit. False prophet. Yeah. I'm not prophet. But yeah, okay, I made a mistake. Cause I thought it was in his forehead. I'm sorry about that. Good that I looked it up. Else I would have give false information. You'd be like, then you would click on it and be like, hey man, this guy's you don't know what you're talking about. What do you? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, but I saw it in a glance. I didn't really look at it. I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You finally found out, didn't you, sucker? Looking like a white woman over here. You finally found out, didn't you, sucker? An effeminate man shall not make it into the kingdom. He's an Israelite, yeah, but you an effeminate man. You ain't making it. Did you just put on blue eye contact glasses, man? What the fuck you do? What the hell you doing, man? Yeah, but then again, this is Prince, so you should already know about this dude, right? Isaiah 42 and 23. Who I actually know a guy that looks like that. And he's a sodomite too. No, well, not too. I don't know if Prince is not a sodomite, but he's a feminine man. You're not gonna make it in the kingdom. But I know this. Well, I don't know him. He's actually living in my neighborhood, so I seen him a few times. He just recently got here or something, maybe a year or something. And I see the dude walking around. He always wear black, so he knows what he's about. But anyway, he looked kind of like Prince actually, a little bit darker, a little bit more brown actually. How Prince used to look in the beginning. Yeah, I just saw that, by the way. I just saw a picture of him now. Where is it? Here. Yeah, I just saw it here. This. He looks like this. I'm not kidding you. He looks like that. How Prince used to be browner back in the days. But anyway, so it says here, verse 23. Who among you give ear to this? Will give ear to this. Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore had he poured upon him the fury of his anger. He poured upon Israel. I was drinking. Sorry about that. Wait. Right, so yeah, it says therefore he had poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle. We got messed up. And it had set him on fire round about. Yet he knew it not. Because our people don't even know what the hell is going on. They don't consider anything. They don't think like, hey man, this not supposed. This is not how life is supposed to be. I'm not perpetually supposed to be buying at your store for nearly a few hundred years now. My great grandmother used to buy here, and now I'm coming and I'm buying here too. My great grandfather used to buy stuff there. Now my kids is buying stuff there too. From these same people, that same family is owning that business, stuff like that. Our people don't think, man. And it burned him. Yet he laid it not to heart. He's not really thinking deep about what the hell's going on around him. Why are we in this condition? Isaiah 5 and 1. Well, let me read this one here first. Oppressed and spoiled evermore. So Deuteronomy 28, 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man shall save thee. Nobody's going to help us. Because the Chinese all see us, the Japanese, the Arabs, they all see us. You have this Russian guy, you know, this Putin. He also sees it. He speaks on America, that America is breaking humanitarian rights and stuff like that. You know, they broke it, they enslaved us, they stole the land from the Native Americans. But is he helping you? No, he's not helping you. He's not offering you land over there. Like, you come here and you're going to have your own, just like how you have in America, you have the land called America. And then you have the states. Yeah, the states. Some of these states are bigger than some other countries. Well, he doesn't offer you a state as big as a country to come live in so that you own everything and all that there in that place that he would give you, which he shouldn't. But the point is that he won't. That's the point. But he uses you to fight against his enemies. You know, you're the chip card. If you poke at me, I'll poke right back at you and make you look like the evil person. Because if they didn't have the struggle, Putin wouldn't open the so-called vault. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to pull out his trump card to make you get on his side. But now he did. And now a lot of our people are like, yeah, man, Putin is the real good white man. Yeah. Sucker. He just played you. And Abdinajad. This President Abdinajad, Mamo, whatever, man, whatever. This guy, he also had a press conference. Wait, let me see here. He had a speech. This one. Oh, wait, this one. He was speaking because they cut it, and then the sons of bitches here. They're actually not talking. They're not showing you that he was talking about these devils because they had the slavery thing going on and stuff like that. So they walked out after they started hearing that. These devils started to walk out. He said, like, yeah, 9/11. They call it the rant because they're devils, you know. But they call it the rant. It's the truth. Yeah, the 9/11 thing is an inside job. He said that. He said, yeah, you enslaved people. You stole land from the Native Americans, but only because they called him inhumane and not upholding human rights. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, I'm not sure because this is definitely not the beginning because he came in the beginning. Yeah, sorry, he walked up onto the stage because I saw that too. But I think it's this one because the background fits. But yeah. I'll leave the original one that I mean. I'll leave that one into the description box so you can check it out for yourself because of that one I'm sure. And I'll probably put the timestamp also where it shows you that he was talking about slavery and stuff like that, you know, and the Native American thing, you know, what they did to the Native Americans, this land stealing. If I'm correct, it's in there. But yeah, he only used it because he was being under attack, verbally and all that there. And the same thing is with Putin. The same thing. They only talk about it when they are being attacked by Esau, so they use that. These people don't care about us. That's the point. That's the point. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. This happened in slavery, and it's happening now nowadays also without even slavery. Our own neighbors are having sex with your wife that you are engaged to or married to. Which marriage is a hustle from an Edomite trying to get you. And our people really believe in that. No, she's married. You can't sleep with her. What? So when they're not married, you can sleep with her. Do you see a ring on my finger? Do you see a ring on my finger? Oh, you don't own me. You're not my daddy. Stuff like that. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Esau did that. We did this in slavery for them. They ate the things that we planted, and they inhabited the houses that we built. The White House is built by slaves. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. They take everything in front of you. All the things that we was prosperous in doing for ourselves, he came in and any bulldozers or places. Baltimore, no, Frisco, yeah, San Francisco, sorry, Fillmore, Happy Hills, which was known as Africa Town, but Africa Town was actually bigger. It was like a real big place. And let me see. Of course, Black Wall Street, you know, all the prosperity of us he took, and now he's benefiting off of us, off of our off of our things, off of our inventions, for example, the so-called black inventions that he stole, and then he calls this guy the guy of 1,000 patents. He's lying to you. He stole everything in existence that he has. He just put his name on it and then copyrighted it. Now you can't make it, but it's Jake's. Thine ass, donkey, shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. That's why we don't have our own food. That's why we don't have our own land, our own cattle and stuff like that, because the Lord cursed us. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. Slavery, this happened, but nowadays it's happening with the modern slavery, which is school. Then they teach your kids how to be a sodomite, and there shall be no might in thine hand, and you can't stop them. Did this happen to these people continually? They might say, like, not even continually, just happened to them. No, they might say, like, well, in the time of the concentration camps, yeah, these things were happening to our people and stuff like that. We had no control over our sons and our daughters. Yeah, you're lying to yourself again. But yeah, going on. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, which is always. And this is exactly what's happening. All the labors of our people, the DJ Khalids of the world, and all the other nations, the East Indians, the Turkish, which are Amalek too, all the other nations, just every nation that you can imagine, Chinese, Japanese, all of them, that we don't really know them like that, you know what I'm saying? And they benefiting off of our works. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. You're going to be angry. Because a lot of our people, what do? They call it culture vultures, like Vlad TV. They call them culture vultures. They are angry, you know. Vlad. Because he's making money off of us. Because if we wasn't around, you know, hey. The term culture vulture is just a 2000 version of calling what? Slave master? What? Oh, get the fuck out of here. You're a devil. He is a slave master, but he wants to actually make the word not, but that's what you are. But anyway, this is what you are. He wants you to see this word. That's a bad word because it hurts him. If you call him a cracker, it doesn't matter. Because that is like the word. That's the sound that the whip used to make, which is crack. That's what you call them when you call them a cracker. I don't call them crack people. I call them crack people, I mean. Because crack is bad for you. You know, if you smoke it, you're going to die. Eventually, you're going to get all fucked, messed up. And it's going to hurt you in the long run. So that's why you shouldn't be messing with crack people. If you mess with crack people, then you're going to end up a crackhead. Just like a crackhead, worse than a crackhead. You know, whether he is a culture vulture or not, Godfrey and DJ Flat discuss whether he is a culture vulture or not. You are, but anyway, you hate that word. I like it. I like it when you hate it. But so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Right, our people are mad when they see them the evil people prospering off of us. Our people being oppressed and stuff like that. Ain't nobody looking at these people like that. Nobody be looking at them like that. You know? These are not the Israelites. These people are not the Israelites. Because they don't go to those things that I just said and showed. They don't go to that. Nobody's stealing from them. They steal from you. Right. So going on over here. 35. Yahweh shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed, sicknesses. From the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head, all the tribes. You know, and all every individual's, you know, their bodies and stuff like that. Well, not every 100% individual, because some of our people are very healthy. Look at the athletes; they're very healthy. So clearly, it's not talking about them. But in the contracts and stuff like that, they are being destroyed, from the top of the head to the top of the head to their toes, to the foot, the sole of their foot. They're being robbed blind. Athletes. There's a list of them. Lewis and Robinson. Let me see which Lewis and which Robinson is it talking about. Irish Times. Oh, there's Lewis. Oh, okay. Yeah, look at how great they were. You know, they was being celebrated. You know, they was being put on a pedestal, hold up high like a king. You know, for the beauty that they brought to the sport, boxing, by the way. Globally known, you know, but you know, he did. Robinson, the man described by Muhammad Ali as the king, the master, my idol, wasn't even Robinson. Because what did they do? They robbed you blind, man. You know, they robbed you blind. Joe Louis, maybe the greatest heavyweight champion of all, died 40 years ago today by strange synchronicity. By some strange synchronicity. Okay, don't know what that is. Credited with, I can look it up, but I don't want to. Credited with being the best pound for pound boxer. But the point is, he died broke. That's the point. The point is, he died broke. That's what they do. He should have been so wealthy that his descendants until this day should have been well off. But that's not happening. And a lot of our people are angry. But what are you going to do about it? Ain't no nation going to come up for you. Let this have been done to these people. They would have, man, they would have jailed. Look at. When I saw this, I just started laughing, man. There was one in a deathbed. They rolled him in. They rolled him into the court. They rolled him into the court system. Let me see, Jim Convicts. I think it was this one. I think it was this one. I'm not sure. But I remember him being rolled in on his deathbed. Old Nazi in deathbed brought to court, rolled into court. Why is this taking so long? Rolled into court. Let me see. Rolled on his deathbed. Rolled. Yeah, I don't. Home Nazi guard. No. What? Did they run out of? I wasn't thinking about. I was not thinking about her, but this one is good too. A court on Tuesday convicted a 97-year-old former Nazi camp secretary of complicity in the murder of more than 10,000 people in what could be Germany's last Holocaust trial. Really? Because it's kind of funny. What the devil. He don't forgive. You ain't forgetting. If it was them, man, they would have rolled your behind in a wheelchair. Case against Nazi who held up. I don't know if it was this one, but I do remember this guy came on a deathbed. Like he was. Wait, let me see. Old Nazi brought to court. And he was using a ventilator or something like that on air. I don't know if he had a tube in his nose. He had a tube in his nose. Let me see. Trial. Another one. Another 93. You see these devils? Man, they don't care, bro. Their lives go very deep. This one is 97. The other one is like 100. Let me see. Hey, they're living long. 93. 101 what? 101 years. Oh, okay. Let me see. 100-year-old SS guard. Really? This guy's 100 years old, and they still brought him to court. He lived long. He lived very long. The wicked always live long, right? He's an Edomite, so he's wicked. It doesn't matter if he did it or not. He's an Edomite. I mean, with the doesn't matter if he did it. I mean, like, it doesn't matter if he was a guard or nothing, because I know he didn't kill the people, because that's all a ruse. A ruse, I tell you. Right, so, you know what? Leave it. I can't find it, so I'm gonna leave it, because I know I saw it. He had a tube in his nose, and he was brought in on the bed. Old Nazi in court on bed. This is the last one I'm gonna do. He was on some sort of a breathalyzer or something like that. Ventilator, not old Nazi. The court on the ventilator. Yeah, I really want to get it. Sorry, this is the last one then. You know what? Yeah, I can't find it, man. Yeah. What a joke. They waited all these years you're about to die. Why don't you get them in the spring of their life? You know exactly who they are, right? Ain't it?
Today, a former Nazi went on trial charged with 300,000.
Yeah. With 300,000 shekels? With shekels? 300,000 shekels? You know who has shekels, right? These people. Anyway, so going back to over here, verse 36, Deuteronomy 28:36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shall thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And we did do that. Our people do that until this day. Sorry. And thou shalt become an astonishment. And yeah, our king, in this case, if I'm correct, it's King David. Yeah, but basically all of our kings went into slavery anyway, so including King David when he came back in the reincarnation. Doesn't matter. I got a bit of honey here, so sorry about that. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb. If you want to hide something from a nigger, put it in the book. That's a proverb that they use. A byword. Nigger, sprick, wetback, coon, stuff like that. Byword. Among all nations where the Yahweh shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed into the field, and shalt gather but little in. For the locust shall consume it. Even the insects, the Heavenly Father put them against us to eat our crops. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Another curse. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thine olive shall cast his fruit. These trees, They're basically not going to be for us. They're not going to prosper with us, for us. You know? They're not going to give fruit. Right? Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. That happened in the slavery. But it's happening now also. I mean, do you enjoy your children? No, you don't. Because you have to work 8 hours a day. They got to go to school 8 hours a day, so you don't see them the majority of the year. In all the days of the year, you don't see them that much. Compared to the school sees them more than you. They see them at least every day, Monday to Friday actually, 5 days a week. They see them at least 8 hours a day. They raise them. That's why when they grow, they kind of get older, they start rebelling against you. Because they learned from their daddy Esau, the devil. 42. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. Again, the animals, the insects, eating our food. So basically, we don't have anything. 43. It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And that is the truth. Because all these heathen nations, they come up in your neighborhood, and what do? They get more prosperous than you. I showed you that thing of this guy, eh? The Patrick Ben David dude. He comes to America and makes over 450 million. Our people make 450 million for them. You know what Michael could have done? He could have fixed his people up. He could have built communities for his own people. He could have. He had that money. And if all the celebrities got together of our people, they could have their own state. They could. To a certain degree. But then again, they couldn't because the Lord cursed us. But the mindset isn't even there anyway. I mean, why don't our people want to be independent from these devils? Why don't they want to be independent? Because they don't think. My people do not even consider. Isaiah chapter 1. Right. Verse 44. Okay, 43 again. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. That Petra Ben David guy. He came up in the midst of our people, and then he was very high. The Chinese do it, the Arabs do it. They come up in your neighborhood, and what do? They get more prosperous than you, living, feeding off of you. And thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That's not them. They're the head. Everybody wants to do business with them to a certain degree. REL, the soap thing that you buy, Intel, Volvo, everything, booking, you know, all of them. These people are not there. I mean, they're not that's not happening to them. They're not the head. Sorry. They're not the tail. They're the head. We're the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder. This is that sign and a wonder. Poverty. You don't see this kind of garbage in these other streets that I just showed you. They made our streets like their streets when they was living in Europe. Look how filthy this place is. These are the places that they inhabited, and then they made our places look like that. Look like this. Place you don't want to go to. The street is so messed up, the water just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just stay here. I'm not going anywhere. You know, the trees are so dead it looked like wintertime. It's probably wintertime, but still, it's probably perpetually winter there. Somber, you know, not looking like you want to live there. Get those funny, stupid, but anyway, yeah, you know, you got these places over here. Look at this. The pictures that I just showed you of these fancy houses and stuff and these fancy neighborhoods. Do you think that they would allow this there? They wouldn't. Look how cracked up the street is. You think they would allow that in their neighborhoods? You think so? With all these graffiti? Nah, man. Vacant houses. This thing ain't even straight. Look how it's built. It's not even straight. Now this one is more straight than that one. Anyway, this is what they're doing. The destroyers of the earth. And then they make you all messed up. But anyway, this shows you that that's not them. They're living good. They're the head of the world. Not just society, the world. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. That's why our children inherit that. This is what they get. But we still happy. All right, this guy looks like one of the elders of London, one of the brothers of London, the elder brother. They actually look like him. Or actually, the brother looked like him because he's older. But yeah, you know, this is what our children inherit. These messed up neighborhoods. Even the grass is like, F it. I don't even want to grow no more. I don't even want to be here. You know? Meanwhile, in their places, you got the beautiful grass. Look at the grass over here. He's like tired. He doesn't even want to grow anymore. See, nothing around us grows. Nothing around us is prosperous. Just like the curses said. You know? But around them it is. But the curses is coming upon them too. Don't worry about that. They're going to get theirs. Verse 47. Because why? Why did all this happen? All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, right? And upon thy seed for a sign and for a wonder. And why? Because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Because we got everything from him, but we wasn't joyful in it. We didn't serve him joyfully for the things that he gave us. Therefore, so because we did that, shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee. He says, you don't want to serve the Most High, the Heavenly Father? You're going to serve your enemies in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Do you see these people serving their enemies for want of all things? For water, food, and housing? I mean clothing and also housing, of course. They got the housing sector locked down. They got everything locked down. Yeah, they're not under these curses because they're not those people. They're not the Israelites. They're not the people mentioned in the scriptures. They are owners of stuff. We don't own anything. Right. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that did happen to our people. We did get destroyed. I just showed you the pictures. This is probably from the 70s or 80s. Where is it? Huh? Did I click it away? I clicked it away, I think. Yeah. This is from the 70s. You know, because I look at the clothing, I'm like, yeah, kind of 70s, I think. Harlem. Look at this. Look like a garbage heap. It look like spider webs. It just looks horrible. You know? But yeah. Death. Right, going back to over here. And the yoke upon our neck. All I have to do is just Google it. And it will show you what this did. Did this happen to the people that call themselves Israelis right now? No, it didn't. You know? You can only imagine what they used to do to these to the Israelite daughters.